Hello everyone and welcome back to St. Andrew TV. My name is Andrew and today we're going to be driving 19th century cars. Believe it or not, what you find on the road today actually evolved from this. So, enjoy. Hello everyone, and as you saw from the intro, I was fortunate enough to get to rent out an old modeled vehicle pre-20th century. Are you snoring? Now before we get into that, I'm going to give you a little bit of history about automobiles prior to the 20th century. Humans first domesticated cars around 3500 BC in what is now known as Russia and Kazakhstan. It obviously changed the world for the better because people could now travel further and with more resources. It also changed labor. You could plow more efficiently on your farm. Mining became easier because it could go into and out of mine shafts carrying the precious thing that you were mining for. And it also changed war. You could drive one into battle, or you could use the hitch to lead a string of soldiers into battle. And the four-legged model of the cars that we were talking about were even used into World War I and World War II. For thousands of years, vehicles and humans have had a strong bond, which leads me to my experience that I had recently. I found an old car collector on the outskirts of Walbridge, Ohio, and I actually rented one out for the afternoon. My model was named Shirley, and it was a lifted racing model. Very tall, 16 hands. That's actually how they measured cars back then, is in hands.
Surely you can't be serious.
But like most older things, it didn't pack a lot of punch as it was only 1 horsepower. There is a side step to get you into the beautiful leather seats that you will eventually ride in. The accelerator was stock, however, you could make upgrades if you were to purchase a pre-20th century car, and the accelerator would look something like this. So after I got situated in the driver's seat, I was allowed to take the top off. Let's go. Shirley's tires were in great shape. I mean, I didn't look at them, but I could assume because the vehicle handled quite nicely. Also, considering it was an overcast day and the roads were bumpy and wet and everything like that, the suspension on the car was extraordinary. Unfortunately, I couldn't get it up to top speed, but I talked to the collector and she said Shirley could get up to 40 miles per hour. Now, without a windshield in the earlier models, that would be moving quite quick. After my time of renting the pre-20th century car was exhausted, I had to return it with a full tank of gas, obviously. So I do have a short clip of me refilling the gas, which is not as expensive as you might think for an old model. You done fueling?
Yeah, she's done.
She knows there's another fuse around here, too. And that concludes our day of driving vintage cars. I'd like to thank everybody for watching. If you like these sort of videos, kind of making a parody of history, obviously horses didn't evolve into cars. I wanted to kind of experiment with a different style of video. They said if you're a small YouTuber, experiment because you never know, you could find a new niche. I'd also like to thank Sarah at Precious Sea Stables, where we spent our Saturday afternoon. They're in Walbridge, Ohio, and she is wonderful. She actually rescues old racehorses and either rehabs them and sends them to a good home, or she keeps them for herself. Gave us the, no pun intended, but gave us the reins to be successful. Overall, a great person and a great thing she's doing over there in Walbridge. And I will link where you can find Precious Sea Stables down in the description. And like I said, that's in Walbridge, Ohio. So thank you to Sarah and all she does out there. As for me, Andrew with St. Andrew TV, that's going to conclude my day of driving vintage cars. If you like this video or any of the other videos you see on this channel, think about subscribing. You're a daisy if you do.
So then I asked him, why the long face? Yeah, snoring is usually the response I get to those jokes.